agus gur mai ira to fáilte road. Mullen oig agus chucky she and Kevin lives shin. Do you remember that old adage, that old saying from school? Praise the young and they will deliver, or they will flourish. Cherish the young, enfranchise the young, enable, empower, trust the young. These are all very modest political requirements, I would contest, to this House. And the notion that Shannon Aaron, upon receipt of a bill and a carefully considered and consulted upon piece of legislation like that brought forward by Senator Warfield and Senator Ruan, would, after having been kicked into touch and down the field as it was at the earlier stage, would now be sent to some obscure, opaque committee somewhere, I think does, in the first instance, insults the processes of this House, because this is the Seanad, this is the place to do it. This is the place to table and enact and legislate such laws and bills. But it also is a great slight upon the people who have worked to propose and put the bill together and bring it to us here this afternoon. I said at the earlier debate in relation to this bill that there was a bit of a pattern emerging in this House. And I reflected on my remarks there at that debate before coming in today. And it's clear to me now, and it should be clear to a blind man or woman on a galloping horse, that that has gone beyond a pattern now into a very clear, overt political stance from Fianna Fáil, that if Sinn Féin bring legislation to this chamber, then you are to oppose it. Sinn Féin. That's it. Doesn't matter if it reflects your own party policy, doesn't matter if it's completely and utterly in unison with your stated party policy, it doesn't matter if it's the right thing to do to give 16-year-old votes, you are to oppose that. And I think that's really negative, nasty, base politics. So much for new politics. If that is, and I don't think it can be denied any longer, that is the stated,
moving away from the section.
Well, I'm referring to the committee. I'll tell you what.
Senator O'Donnell on section 1.
I have to come back in.
Senator O'Connor.
Well, you don't have to come back in. You've had your say.
Senator O'Donnell without interruption.
And without interruption again, because sometimes people don't like, particularly when it's their stated party policy, they don't like to hear that they're actually going to get up and vote against it in this chamber when they have the opportunity, with young people here in the chamber, young people have no doubt, because young people are engaged in the political process, as Senator Crockwell rightly said. The notion that young people aren't following this, aren't judging. If Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and others had any sense at all, they would be rushing to empower and to enfranchise young people, because, believe me, it's a very short window of time before they will have the opportunity at 18 to vote. And they will remember who was taxing them at 16. They remember who, as Senator Crockwell referred to, expected certain conditions of them in life in terms of their public contribution, wanted them to contribute to the state, wanted them to put their trust in the state, but the state wouldn't return the favour. The state wouldn't return the gratitude, and the main parties, the coalition government of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, wouldn't trust them, wouldn't give them the empowerment. And they'll come in here and they'll give it all the bell boan and all the plomish and all the bell gra about how great it was 100 years ago, and it was, to enfranchise some women with the vote. But in this point in time, when it is clear for all of us, it's as plain as the nose on your face, that the people who are driving politics, not just in this state but right across this country, are young people who are out to the fore, as it has always been, I would contest, demanding social change, demanding social progress, demanding change in laws and legislations. And to me, it's as simple as what I said in the last debate on this. The last 10, 15 years of government in this state has punished young people. They have been on the receiving end of the worst excesses of economic illiteracy. They have been driven into poverty. They have been driven into the so-called recovery, where they can't afford a home, where they can't afford childcare, where they can hardly get a job. And what's happening here is the status quo, the establishment, are afraid of those young people being empowered and being entrusted with their democratic right to vote. I believe in 16-year-old. I believe in, fundamentally, as a Republican, enfranchising and empowering citizens and giving citizens equality and giving them rights. If we are to expect young people to contribute to many other aspects of political and social and legislative life in this state, Why? Why wouldn't you trust them with your vote? What is the rationale other than to say we'll talk to teachers, we'll talk to youth groups, we'll talk to youth clubs, we'll talk to parents, as if young people don't exist outside of the classroom, as if they don't have an identity and a life and experience and relationships, as if they don't contribute to the life and the politics of this place. I think the most basic courtesy we can extend to 16-year-olds is to trust them and to give them the right to decide on us. I'm happy to put myself out in front of 16-year-olds if I have the honour and the privilege to go forward for election any time in the future. I wonder, can some other candidates or some other potential candidates say the same? Thank you very much.